Hey, it's Lucy here at Spitfire, and today I'm going to be taking you through the new Mervyn Warren Choir instrument, and I am so excited about this. I'm a singer myself, and so I have just enjoyed so much using this and working with it and seeing what it can do. It's honestly the most versatile choir instrument that I've ever used. It can do so many things and it works in so many different contexts, and yeah, I really can't wait to show you what I've written and how I used it. So it features a group of singers that were handpicked and put together by the legendary Mervyn Warren. And yeah, it's honestly a group of some of the most talented and decorated singers that are out there. So it sounds really good. It has like all the kind of vocal articulations that you'd want. It's got vowel shapes, it's got morphs, it's got, I can't wait to dive in and show you. Mervyn Warren is an incredible musician. He's a 5-time Grammy Award winner. He's a record producer, a composer, an arranger, a choir master, and yeah, much, much more, and a vocalist in his own right. And yeah, you can tell that this instrument has been put together by someone with that level of skill and knowledge because it is top-notch. So yeah, I'm going to take you through my piece and I'm going to use it as a bit of a way to, take you through all the amazing core techniques that this instrument has got. So I've written quite a compact song that cycles through a few different sections, and honestly quite a few like very contrasting, jarring sections, but I wanted to show just how versatile this is in different styles. And I wanted to kind of play with the dynamic range and the different levels of intensity it can do, and also play with how it sounds in different harmonic contexts. And I particularly today want to talk about writing vocal harmonies and writing stacked vocal harmonies, because that is where this really comes into its own. So yeah, let's take a look at what I wrote and then let's break it down and get nerdy about harmony, which is my favorite thing. For context, I studied jazz vocals at uni or conservatoire, and yeah, it is my thing. So I'm very excited to be doing this, and yeah, can't wait to show you. Let's go.
I
There's my song. I don't know what to call it. I was thinking remember. But yeah, that's what I wrote. This is honestly the first time I've used a choir instrument, and I felt like I don't want to replace this after. I think this sounds like real people, and I think it sounds incredible, and I would happily put this on a record just as is. I think it's amazing out the box. So let me take you through it. The first thing you heard was me singing this a cappella vocal line. And you'll hear this as kind of like a backbone throughout the song. I've made this kind of like a bit of a recurring melody. It's the shape of the piano in the verse. And the reason I picked it is because I wanted to experiment with how many different ways I could reharmonize one very simple kind of blocky, chunky melody, I guess. And that's exactly what I've done here in the intro. So I sing it a cappella, then I rehum it one way with the choir. So let's talk about this little section here, this intro section. So for the whole thing, I've kind of stuck to like a modern choral, soprano, alto, tenor bass arrangement. I think, yeah, that was just a choice of mine because that's how I'm most comfortable writing vocals. But here I've split two of the upper voices in two. So I kind of imagine this being like two sopranos, one alto, one tenor, one bass. And yeah, I've got them all on the articulation here, which is just so nice for kind of like, yeah, soft closed, like brooding sound. I'll play you a bit of that. God, it's so nice. And you can control the vib as well, which I really like. So I've used very little vibrato. I've got like a little bit I've used automation here to kind of like swell the chords slightly, but I've kept it all pretty subdued because it's just the intro. And yeah, I have tried, okay, so a note about vocal arranging. I'm not going to practice what I preach because I'm probably going to talk about voice leading and how important it is to have nice, smooth, melodic lines in each of your vocal parts. And I don't have that here. But I think it's okay because it was an intentional choice. And I think intentionality is 100% the most important thing when it comes to writing vocal parts, as long as it's on purpose and as long as your intervallic jumps are on purpose, especially when you're doing more of a crunchy, dissonant harmony. Sometimes it's really difficult to have smooth voice leadings in your parts that move by a step or a half step or, you know, a small interval. Sometimes you got to have bigger intervals, and that's okay, or at least I think it's okay. So this is what I actually started top down with this, and I started with the sopranos. This is what they're doing. So they're actually just doubling what I'm singing. They're going, and then in the sop twos, we've got. So they've basically just got a harmonization of the melody line. They've got a ooh, ooh, and then a do, 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 which just sits nicely above the main melody. And then we've got altos. This is the tenors. And then this is our bass. So these definitely aren't strict voice leadings, but I think also what I was going for in the intro was this kind of like slightly surprising and jarring like re-harmonization that shocks your ear a bit before we then enter into the chorus, which has got quite like a regular and simple-ish harmonic pattern and harmonic rhythm. And the harmony in the chorus is basically just going chord 6, chord 3, dominant 7, chord 4, and then kind of like a 4 minor slash, in this case, like A flat, half diminished, but more or less 4 minor, because I'm a sucker for 4 minor. I think that's very beautiful, and I try and wedge it into everything. So yeah, and then the harmony in the intro, honestly, I mean, there's no right way to write harmony and to write vocal parts. I'm very much a use your gut and use your ear person. I like to feel it out, and that's exactly what I did here. I know what my home key was. I wrote this in C, by the way, for ease of explanation. And I knew where my home was. I knew where I wanted to end up. And then I just used what sounded good to me. And I think that is the best way, in my opinion, to write harmony. You know, unless there's like a very specific kind of functional tool that you're looking to use, I think that you can just trust your instincts. So let's talk about the chorus. I will play it again.
Remember how it feels when you wake up. Remember how it felt yesterday. I better forget every minute when we make up and do it all again.
Okay, so I'm just singing.
Remember how it feels when you wake up. Remember how it felt yesterday.
And I've got a little double here, which I've panned hard left and right. That's a personal choice. Some people don't like a hard panned double, but I thought it sounded quite nice and wide here. And then actually in the second chorus, I've got some harmonies.
Remember how it feels when you wake up.
Which is just me singing the third above. And then the melody is. So, and then other things that I've got going on. The choir, I have got them. I've got them on the there, and then I open it up and I layer the with the oohs. And this chord, it's kind of weird. I really like it. I wanted it to feel really open and kind of like harmonically ambiguous, and like you don't really know where home is. I think the only like important thing, so I have a D in the bass, which I think kind of like roots it and grounds it in chord 2, because we're in C.
Do it all again.
Again, with the harmony here, I really just like felt it out essentially, and just wrote what sounded good to me and fit within that kind of like neo soul R&B style that I was going for here. If you're looking to write harmony and you want to kind of try writing instinctively and you don't know where to begin, I would really recommend starting with your melody, then writing your bass line. Write a nice like melodic bass line that kind of has a nice mix of outlining the root movement, but not jumping around to all of the root notes. And what I mean by that is if your chord progression is like C, F, G, you might not want to have your bass going C, F, G, because it might not sound good. Try doing it stepwise and drawing a line through your bass line that outlines the harmony and focuses around the root, the fifth and the third. And sometimes not, you know, sometimes it might be right to deviate, but try that first and then fill in your other colours and your other voices in between. So I would start melody, bass, and then try out whatever you like in between. So I would try writing for soprano, alto, tenor, and bass, and then, yeah, see where your heart takes you. I think next I'm going to try writing for a trio of like higher female voices. And then I really love John Tavener. And so I want to write kind of like quite an epic, lush, avant-garde choral piece with this. And I'm essentially going to have SATB, but I'm going to split each one into two. And really try out using kind of like extended harmony and see what I can do with like big stacked chords and loads of weird extensions. So yeah, that will be my next project for this. So my verse, I don't have much going on because I really wanted to contrast.
What a way, what a way, what a way to end the evening. I said I need some space, but I'm not leaving today or any other day. Try to stop the wheel from turning, but I'm not learning from the pain.
So I have just got a higher voice. I've got an alto here singing a harmonization of the melody on the R, like the legato R. So a quick note on the legatos, they are insane. They are so smooth. So anything where the voices are quite exposed or maybe I'm singing like a melodic line and I really want to emulate the smoothness of a soloist or a section singing a line, I'm using these legatos because they're so real sounding, it's scary. It's so nice. So that's what I've got there. Also, by the way, I'm using Sublab, which is this instrument by Future Audio Workshop. It's just a really good go-to for kind of modern, subby, kind of very like harmonics rich bass sounds. And I've just got it following the root movement. And I've got this bass going throughout. So chorus 2 is much the same. In my drums, I have used the body percussion from the choir, and I've just got it playing some finger snaps, and later I have got some chest beats, and they're great. It's just so nice, and I layered the chest beats over the kick, which I thought was lovely. A little note on time signatures in this piece as well. I've got alternating bars of 4/4 and 2/4 in the chorus, so I found the kick pattern and like the click pattern quite hard to figure out, but so it's like 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2. That's how I'm feeling it. I guess it could also be like 6/4, but yeah, I'm hearing bar 4, bar 2. And then for my hats, I've just got this kind of like slow, jangly neo-soul hi-hat loop that I got from Splice. And then I've layered the click with this like rim, also from Splice. So here is the final section. This is the breakdown, and this is where I really wanted to experiment with a wholly contrasting vocal style. And I'll play you this now. And that's me just singing like a little kind of contrasting ending. And I've done this thing that I like to do in songwriting sometimes where I've ended on this kind of like harmonic surprise and then have the lyrics kind of mirror it. So I've got the like, oh, today will be the same. And I've played a B flat.
What a day will be the same.
So the kind of like openness and the harmonic tension of the B flat major here, which is chord 7 here, I've mirrored in the lyrical phrase as well and the narrative of the lyrics. Yes. So the choir in this part are on full pelt with the expression and the mod wheel. I have really, I maxed them out and I had them on the R legatos here. So again, I've split parts here. I've split the female voices into 3. So again, possibly like 2 sopranos, 1 alto. This is the alto. I just love the way the legato sounds when it's singing that arpeggio. I think it sounds so good under everything. And here's the tenor. And then the bass. So in this case, the bass is just singing the root movement. And then over the top, I have got so the female voices are singing this short R articulation on the upbeat, and then on the downbeat, I have more of like a low female voice singing. And then I also have the tenors and basses on the downbeat as well. And then I am singing this. I'm singing remember. And so kind of like layered under my vocals and I'm singing words, it kind of gives this like really nice blended, mushy, like shouty kind of feel to it. I didn't want the words that I was singing in the counter melody to be super distinct, so I like the way this sounds. I'll just play you the vocals alone. And then I just have these in the sopranos and altos singing this nice kind of harmonization in thirds over me for the outro, which I want it to just be like such a soft contrasting tail to like the bigness of the breakdown, to really kind of like pull back and surprise you and finish the song on this kind of like closed quiet note. So if I had to summarize my top tips for writing vocal harmonies like this, I would say, number 1, start with your melody and your bass and then fill in the gaps, fill in the blanks. Number 2, use your ear and trust your gut and write what you think sounds good. I think it's far better to write with your gut and then go back after and check you haven't made any kind of like cardinal sins or errors. And even if you have, it's okay. If you like it, great. And also like writing this sort of harmony is a constant process of kind of like iterating and refining what you like and, you know, learning the voices you're working with as well. What I really like about this choir is it just sounds so good that it makes my writing sound good. So yeah, having the right tools is really, really key. And, you know, we don't all have a choir in our living rooms, but I guess, yeah, now I do. I have this. So I would really, really recommend working with a high quality choir instrument like this so that you can practice and polish writing with voices that sound real, because that's crucial. And then practice re-harmonizing. So to elaborate a bit on the definition of re-harmonization, because I feel like it's a word that's said a lot, it, in short, is taking a melody, and a melody is just a tune, and if it already has chords, stripping away those chords and putting in a new set of chords that work consonantly with the melody but have a different quality or flavour to the original chords. I think reharmonization is a great way to learn how harmony works and learn how functional harmony works, and I really recommend it. If you don't want to write a tune as well, try reharmonizing a song that you like that already exists. That's a really great way of practicing, and a great group to listen to is Take Six for that. That is just like the creme de la creme of harmony writing. And yeah, if you want to learn good harmony, transcribe Take Six. It will be so good for your brain and for your ears. So we've looked at the features of this amazing choir instrument. I have shown you how I used it in my song, and I've given you some hot tips for writing your own vocal harmonies and reharmonizing existing melodies. I'm so excited about this instrument, and I personally cannot wait to use it in everything and use it in a bunch of different contexts and settings, because I've seen how powerful it can be and how versatile it can be in a bunch of different styles and genres. And I really look forward to hearing what you create. And yeah, comment which song you think would sound good as a vocal a cappella arrangement, because it's like a whole genre and there's so many amazing videos out there and so many amazing vocal covers of popular tunes. So yeah, if you have any ideas for what should be done, maybe someone will see it and they'll make it. Thank you so much for watching. I had so much fun taking you through this and playing with the Mervyn Warren Choir. I will see you next time. Bye.